So the infarinata is something that is like a bread. You eat it like a pizza, right?
It's a real snack, and in Liguria and Cinque Terre, which is the Italian Riviera, basically, they have this as a snack in the afternoon. They would have it as an antipasto, but it's very versatile, as we're about to see the way you're making it, that you can add things to it, and it's just terrific. It's piping hot out of the oven, and it breaks off. It's made with chickpea flour, not with white flour.
Right. This is chickpea flour, farina di cece, right? Farina di cece, and I'm going to let you whisk that a little bit just to get those lumps out, so why don't you just whisk that up. And as he said, we're going to add some different ingredients to this. So what we have here is 3 cups of chickpea flour, and you can find that in either a health food store, just a regular. Well, you live in New York, you can find anything.
Any ethnic market. I mean, they use it all over the Mediterranean.
Right. So we have that, and I put a little salt in with 5 cups of water. And ideally, what you want to have happen here is once you mix this up, you want to let it sit around for a couple hours, just so that the flour and the liquid start to get a little thicker. And it'll look something like this. This here, I've had this sitting around a little bit, so you see how
it's a
little bit thicker. And so you want to do that. So if you're going to make this, you want to start out a couple hours ahead of time. So you can either cook it like that, or you could add some interesting ingredients to it. So I'm going to have you put in some olive oil. So there's a little extra virgin olive oil. Put that in for flavor. And then we've got some prosciutto that's already diced up.
Very nice idea.
This is prosciutto di Parma. I'm going to let you mix this around. Prosciutto di Parma is, it's one of my favorites. Is it one of yours?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there are only 2 or 3 prosciutti that you really want to buy that are imported anyway into the United States.
And this is a PDO product, meaning that it's coming from a very certain region of Italy, especially we're talking here about Emilia-Romagna. And this is a ham that's cured only with salt and thyme, T-I-M-E, and air.
And thyme, T-I-M-E, too.
Yeah, right.
It takes a long time.
Okay, so prosciutto we have diced up here, and now we're going to add some rosemary.
Fresh rosemary.
Fresh rosemary, so that's going to give a really nice flavor.
When this comes out of the oven, you are going to smell the olive oil, and you're going to smell the rosemary, and you're going to smell the prosciutto, and you're going to fall over.
Right. So
many people have fallen over and never get to eat the farinata because they faint.
So you let this thicken up, and actually I think that this one is really actually thick enough that we can pour it into the pan, because I don't, that looks really good. We don't even need to use this one, but you let that sit around for a couple hours. So a little bit more olive oil there. So let's get out a bake pan, which I have right here. Let me see what I did with that. Here it is. And you want to grease it. So we need to add just a little bit of olive oil to that. So let me put a little extra virgin on there. And if you take that brush and just brush that around, this is so that the infarinata does not stick. So, or you could do it on parchment paper if you wanted to. Now you could do this on top of the stove too. You could you could do this like a frittata, but I like to do it in the oven.
Yeah, I agree.
And the oven is on at 450 degrees. Now if you're getting a little bit timid about how's it going to come out of the pan, what you could always do is put a piece of parchment paper down. So then you just pour this right onto the pan. See?
Everything you do here is simple, but traditional.
Right.
And if it takes more than 15 to 20 minutes, it really isn't particularly Italian.
Well, isn't that the joy of Italian cooking?
Yes.
So we have it in the pan, and now we can put it in the oven. Remember, your oven's on at 450 degrees. We're going to let that cook for about, I would say, 30, 35 minutes or so. But because I knew you were coming over...
What is the oven temperature?
450.
450.
Here's one that I made a little earlier for you. And you see what happens, it just really solidifies up. Now you can eat it...
When you see the little cracks, that's when it's done,
Yeah, and you can eat it either warm or at room temperature.
Now if you go further north on the Riviera, into the French Riviera, they call this soca. And they serve it, it's tradition to serve it on Saturdays, and they bring them on bicycles in big, huge pans and cut it up just as you're doing.
So you can just, you see, if you grease the pan, it just comes out.
Perfect.
Looks good, huh? So we ought to have a nibble of this. How about the wine?
I think we should have some wine with it too.
There are the glasses. Let me move this out of the way while you pour wine.
This is from the Cortese grape. That's a real workhorse grape out there, and they've made it into a spumante, which means a foaming white wine. And this, as I said, comes from the Piedmont, and it's just perfect. You're having people over, and you're having the farinata. You start with this. It makes a great aperitif with just about anything. But when it's warm and it's summer's out and the sun's out, you take a nibble of this.
Don't you love this job?
I do like this job, yes.
Chin. Let's chow.
Little sparkle to it, a little sweetness to it.
Wow.
And
give a taste.
Wow, it's just wonderful. The smell, the aroma of the prosciutto, of the olive oil itself.
The rosemary's good with that.
Oh, yeah. Very, very good.